Ooh, that's good. Commanders fans. Well, nothing really good at all. So I really should just be saying Commanders fans. So I'm showing a video here about Daron Payne, or showing Daron Payne first getting hit by Amon-Ra St. Brown. So this video really does show evidence that Amon-Ra St. Brown was the first guy to throw a punch, and it wasn't Daron Payne. But that's how it always works out. That it always works that way. Like even back in like grade school, like a recess, one kid will hit you first, and then the teacher doesn't see it until you retaliate. It always happens that way. It happens that way in football all the time. The guy who hits somebody first, they never get in trouble, but the person who retaliates is the guy that gets the flag or gets the penalty or gets ejected. Now, the ref is clearly looking at these two, looking at Daron and Amon-Ra having an exchange. Amon-Ra pushes Daron first. Let me rewind it, actually. Amon-Ra pushes, he pushes Daron first. Oh, I'm looking at it again. So Daron does shove Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra pushes Daron. Then Daron gets in Amon-Ra's face. And then Amon-Ra punches him again. It's really two punches by Amon-Ra. And then you see Kinlaw throwing the flag, doing the flag signal. Like, Amon-Ra definitely should have got a flag. That's inexcusable by that ref. That ref needs to be fined or suspended himself. That ref should be fined or suspended. Also, Amon-Ra should have some repercussions, whether it's a fine or suspension, in my opinion. You don't throw two punches. He threw two punches, not one, but two punches on Daron Payne. So that is ridiculous. Now, the only reason why Daron Payne really got caught up and got the flag and got the penalty is because he waited. He didn't, like, quickly retaliate. Like, he just waited, like, either the next play or a minute later. And, of course, while they're walking off one by one, isolated, Daron Payne is 2 times or 3 times bigger than Amon-Ra St. Brown. So it just looks worse because Daron Payne wound it up, and then wham, like Jonathan Vilma said. I almost said Vilma or Vilmer, but Jonathan Vilma said wham, and Daron Payne put all 300-something pounds into that punch on that uppercut on Daron Payne, man. And it does show. I mean, Daron Payne was named a captain. And all our captains have left the both back-to-back games. Our captains have not finished the game, whether it's due to injury or an injection, unfortunately. So, I think next year, Dan Quinn, he might as well just stick with the captains like teams normally do, like Jaden Daniels, Tressway, and it probably would have been Bobby Wagner this year if he would have just named 3 captains and just kept it to 3 captains the whole way through, which teams usually do. You usually name your quarterback the captain, and then on the defensive side, you usually go with like Bobby Wagner or somebody like that. Your middle linebacker, your best safety, your best defensive end, or whoever, your best D lineman. And but all that aside, like Amon-Ra, like if you are going to suspend Daron Payne, Amon-Ra definitely needs some type of repercussion or consequence. Like, for sure. The only reason why they're doing this is because we're bad. We're down by 21 points or whatever. And we're just bad right now. So the refs are biased anyway. And that's what they decided to do. So Javon Kinlaw wasn't lying, man. Daron Payne wasn't lying either. So Daron Payne posted it on his Instagram saying, oh, okay, on his story. He posted it on his story. So they're not going to change it. They're not going to appeal it. Like, I feel like they should. I don't know if they're going to take it. They're not going to take away the suspension. That's just not happening. They're not going to do that. So, like, in a perfect world, like, if you want to have fair is fair, tit for tat or whatever, then I do feel like they should appeal this suspension because you see Amon-Ra instigating it and starting it, So, but it is what it is. They're not going to change it. He's still going to be suspended. But I do want to see them step in and do something to Amon-Ra St. Brown. I do want to see them and do something to him. I know he's pissed off because we beat him last year and we BTA'd them last year, but still, like, so it is what it is on that. Daron Payne will be back next week. I still would trade him, though. I like him. He just has a history now, fighting because him and John Allen had that fight. But like I said, too, with Quan Martin, like when Quan Martin got that penalty, I was like, what did the guy do to him first? The guy kicked Quan Martin in his gonads. And Quan Martin came out and said that too. He was like, he got kicked in the nuts. So that's why Quan Martin was pointing the finger at the guy like that. Quan Martin didn't even punch the guy. He's just pointing his finger at him. He got a penalty, which was ridiculous, in my opinion, as well. So they need to show the footage of that too. JP Finley put this footage out, but the All 22 is going to show it anyway. But they need to show that. They do. They need to show it. They need to show the kicking of the nuts as well. Paws or whatever. All right, let's get to the signing that the Commanders made, and let's get to a quick word from today's sponsor, Sleeper. Oh, let's go to Commanders fans and shout out to today's sponsor, Sleeper. Just want to hook you guys up with a great deal. First time users get a 100% deposit match up to $100 if you sign up using the link down below in the description for Sleeper. Remember that terms and conditions apply. Also, there's a free $20 entry as well that I'm going to help you guys out using promo code Oliver. You guys can get those deals for first time users using the app. #1 daily fantasy sports app, Sleeper. So let's get into the picks for the game against the Lions. Now, of course, Sleeper is you pick more or less on player props, receiving yards, passing yards, rushing yards, receptions, all kinds of stuff that you can think of for player stats. You pick them more or less on their player props. So we're going to go with a system play. 6 out of 9 quarterbacks that have played against the Commanders have gotten more on their passing touchdowns from Geno Smith. Sam Darnold had 4 in the first half. So we're going to keep it going with Jared Goff, more than 2.5 passing touchdowns. And you pair that with the free play with Daniel Jones over a half a passing yard. So let's keep it going, unfortunately, with players getting more than their passing touchdowns. So 6 out of 9 quarterbacks. Pat Mahomes did it. Dak Prescott did it. Basically almost every quarterback we played. Like I said, Michael Penix went over his passing touchdowns as well. So let's keep it going with the system play against the bad Commanders defense. Let's get back to the video. Peace. All right, so the Commanders signed defensive end Demarcus Walker. He was a former second-round pick, 6'4", 280 pounds. He went to Florida State. Coming out of college, he has 16 sacks in 2016. He was a former second-round pick. Like I said, he had 10.5 sacks. In 2015, he was first-team All-American. This guy was a stud in 21 and a half tackles for loss in 2016 as well. He was a stud, and he had 3 forced fumbles. He had 4 forced fumbles in 2015, but this is college. This is literally 10 years ago now. You come back at 2016 and 2015. His RAS score was pretty poor, so he's not an athletic freak by any means. You look at some of his NFL stats. Now, his best season, he had 7 sacks with the Tennessee Titans in 2022. So it's not too far removed. It's about 3 years ago now, and 16 quarterback hits. He's had 3 consecutive seasons of 16 quarterback hits. Signed with the Chicago Bears in 2023. He had 16 quarterback hits and 3.5 sacks. Then he did it again in 2024. He played in 17 games and 17 starts for the Bears, where he had 16 quarterback hits and 3.5 sacks and 7 tackles for loss. It's so crazy. We got another Bear with Jacob Martin on the team as well, where he has some pass rush juice too, where this guy's Demarcus Walker had a couple pressures, man. He had a good amount of pressures last year too. Like in 2024, he had 39 pressures, which was 44th out of 121 edge rushers, which is pretty good. 738 snaps, which was 24th out of 210 edge rushers. Had a 64.7 PFF grade, which is pretty solid as well for Demarcus Walker. He's 31 years old, so he does kind of add to the unction. 31 is not super old, but you know how we are, our fan base, and how the NFL is about people who are 30 and over. If you're 30 and over, you're on the AARP club, the Life Alert club. Like that's just how it is if you're 30 and over. With the Titans that year, he had 7 sacks. He had a 72.8 PFF grade. He also had a 68 pass rush grade and a 69 run defense grade too. So it looks like per PFF, he's not bad against the run, which is good. 27 tackles in 2024, which is 28th among 121 edge rushers. So there's some pedigree there, man. This guy was a second-round pick, had 16 sacks in college. I get this is college, but still, like he has some moves, man. He has some pass rush moves and some pass rush juice where he can at least get some pressure. Like we're at a point where we just need NFL players on the roster. I keep saying this over and over again, where we're getting to a point where we may not have NFL level talent at certain positions. Now Trey Amos is done for the rest of the season for the most likely. Who else? C-Rod, I think, is hurt this game or whatever, but we'll see. But there's some positions where we're just bare bones, man. Preston Smith is starting, Von Miller starting. Like it's rough, man. We are on a 3rd string. Javonte John Baptiste hurt. Dietrich Wise out for the year. Not hurt, but these guys are out for the season, you know. So it's tough. And then you got Daron Payne suspended. So Johnny Newton's going to have to start at defensive tackle. So it's rough, man. In the wide receiver position, we're bringing guys off the street like Robbie Chosen and Treylon Burks is hurt. He's not even going to play. Luke McCaffrey hurt. So Jacoby Jones, one of those guys may have to play. Jacoby Jones, Ja'Cory Brooks. One of those guys are probably gonna have to play. Chris Moore, of course, has had to play. Like we just had this. Chris Moore is not an NFL level talent player to me. He's an XFL talent kind of guy to me, in my opinion. So we just had to dig, and get guys off the streets, man. Seriously, it's been rough. It's been rough. But he ran a 4.8 40-yard dash, which is about average. His vertical leap was poor with 31.5 inches, which is actually not that bad. His broad jump was 6.42, which is about okay. His bench press was 18 reps, which was poor as well. His RAS score is 3.19, which is poor. Yeah, he scored a 3.19 out of a possible 10, which is pretty darn bad for the RAS score. So let's see here. What else about Demarcus Walker? That's really it. He did have a couple injuries. He was on IR like his third year or something like that. He did play with Von Miller as well, which is cool. And Von Miller was happy when they drafted him with the Broncos. I think Adam Peters was with the Broncos at the time too when Demarcus Walker got drafted. Now Demarcus Walker is a disappointment. I'm not gonna lie to you. He's a second round disappointment if we're being honest. He is. Yeah. That's really about Demarcus Walker. Look at his draft profile real quick here too. He ties quick swim move to his jump step in order to climb over top of pass protection. Posted eye-popping sack production, 25 sacks over the last 2 seasons at FSU, Florida State. Attempts to play past the blocker rather than giving in. Always searching for a new opening when original rush move is stymied. When rush stalls, he spies. Quarterback and gets hand in alleys. 8 career passes defensed, which is good as well. Gathers blockers to set up teammates when first on twists. Active heavy tackler, stack and shed power on the edge when pad level is right. So that's good news as well. Thick bubble in thighs with ability to carry more mass. So I'll end there. All right, you guys. As always, you guys let me know what you guys think. Hello, Commanders. Peace.